Hello and welcome to this video. My name is David Thorne. In this video we're going to be looking all about how justified content for you when using Flexbox basically works. Now it can be a little bit misleading and so on about exactly what's happening with the spaces and where the boxes are being positioned, etc, etc. So I thought we're going to have a look at this, all right? And you just have to remember whether you got flex direction row or flex direction column, they're going to be the same things, all right? Just going to be in a different direction, a different axis. So we don't have to worry about whether we're using column or row. It's the same idea, okay? But in this example, all of the boxes that I've got here, as you can see, they're all using row, okay, which is the default. So flex direction is always default to row anyway. So as we can look at the titles, we've got flex start, flex center, flex end. It's not called flex center, it's just called center, but I've just put here flex center. And we've got space evenly, space around, and space between. Okay, so the flex start, it might seem like it's quite easy to understand, and for some people it's going to be, but it's the beginning. Basically it's going to align all of the children elements to the beginning of the block of the container, all right? So these are all just spans here with inside of it. They're nothing more than a span with some text inside of it, nothing special, and I've just given it a background color and so on. So all of the content is going to be aligned to the left, all right, if you've got flex start on it. Now flex center is going to do everything basically as it says. It's going to align everything to the center, just like it would if you said text align center. And remember, if this is flex direction row, we are talking about, we are aligning on the x-axis. So all of these are on the x-axis. So we're aligning horizontally, right, to the center. Now if we're flex column, we will be aligning vertically, center vertically aligned, all right? So it's always the direction of the flex direction we're talking about. And flex end, as we can see here, comes to the end of it as well. And if we just look at this, you'll see that we've got the flex end class here, and it's doing nothing more than saying justify content flex end. And if we turn it off, you see it goes to flex start. And if we come to the one previous and flex start here, and we turn it off, nothing happens because that's the default thing anyway. All right, so we now come down to the next one is space evenly. So space evenly is basically going to calculate the size of its container first of all, and then it's going to take the size of all of its child containers. It's going to add them up. It's then going to minus that away from the parent container. Then it's going to say, hey, I've got 3 containers left. So whatever space is left over from the content, I'm going to divide that by the number of items plus 1, all right? And it's going to then space evenly behind it. So as you can see here, we've got this 1, 2, and 3. So we take away the content and we just have to divide it by 4 now. So it's basically the number of items, the number of child elements plus 1 to be able to work out how much space is going to be on each side of the element, okay? Now space around kind of does something like this. However, what it says is that the space between the parent and the first item and the parent and the last item is going to be half that of what's between the middle items, all right? So as you can see here, it's pretty much that, although they are all equal, the spaces in between, all right, in between item 1 and 2 here, item 2 and 3 here, and item 3 and 4 here, they're all equal. And the space between item 4 and the outer container is half that of between item 3 and item 4. All right, so if you want to have that everything is evenly spaced, let's say, and it's not this is like the best one really for a navigation bar. If you wanted them all spaced evenly relative to their content, all right, this would be the one to use space around. But if you want each one of them to be then actually spaced evenly mathematically, you know, so it's all, then this is the one to use. Otherwise, space between, right, is basically the same as space around. However, it's going to align the first and the last item to the end, all right? So the first item is going to be aligned to flex start, and the last item is going to be aligned to flex end. And then the other items in between are then basically going to be spaced evenly in here. You can see it's got the same amount of space between, but it's just not going to put the space around on the left and the right of then the first and last item. So you can see here that really space around is kind of the nicest one to use. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But this is a good visualization for you of how it works. And as you can see here, you can come in and then see the different spaces that are being put there. The purple spaces. If it's going to let me continue this, the purple spaces are the ones, the spaces that's been added between each item. Anyway, with that said, this is just a nice visual explanation or demonstration about how the different items are being distributed or moved around when using display flex and then justify content. All right. With that said, I hope that you've got something out of this video. I definitely got something out of it whilst making it, because there was a few extra things that I had to research and so on. But yeah, it's a super interesting thing, and I think the best thing that you can take away from it is if you want to align text in the center vertically and horizontally, then this is definitely the way to be able to do it, because align item center would then do the other axis. Now, if you want to also have a navigation bar, I would say space around is probably the best thing to do for all of your items, that they can sit like nice and evenly and prettily. You know that the margin left and right is exactly the same on each side, and that the margin on the left or the right and the left of item 1 and 2 together is they're going to be the same size as each other. All right. Okay, with that said, if you do have any comments or anything like that, naturally put them in the comment section below. If you like it, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. But it'd be much better if you could tell me why you didn't like it and so on. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified basically whenever I release any new videos. Currently, there's been a video released every single day at 8 AM Central European time. So yeah, look out for that every single day. And I don't always make videos about programming. I make videos about drone flying and all lots of other stuff as well. So, you know, if it's not something that's for you, just scroll back on and wait for the next content that is for you. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.